Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Grace. Thank you for clicking on today's video. So today we're going to be doing a little review and tutorial on... where'd it go? But today we're going to be doing a little review and tutorial on the new Colourpop Nude Mood palette. I saw this in Ulta and had to get it. I feel like just from looking at it, it is like my ideal everyday eyeshadow palette, from the packaging to the colors on the inside. Everything about this just screams what I love when it comes to makeup. So I figured this would be a good little palette to review for you guys. So I'm going to be reviewing this palette, giving you the inside scoop, and giving you a little tutorial on how to use this. Before we get started, if you haven't already and you think you want to stick around, click that red subscribe button and the post notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I'm going to be posting every Wednesday and Sunday from now on, which I'm really excited about, to have like a set schedule. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get started with the actual tutorial, this palette, like I said, is Colourpop Nude Mood. You can get it at Ulta or on Colourpop's website. I believe it retails for $14. Let me double check. Yes, like I said, it does retail for $14. It is a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, and this is what the inside looks like. Guys, I'm obsessed. Comes with this little plastic sheet, which I get why they make these, but I wish they would just stop making them. Honestly, I feel like it's a huge waste. You throw them away, don't really use them. But this is what the inside looks like. It is also, just pretend my nails don't actually look this bad. So beautiful. It is like the perfect neutral everyday eyeshadow palette. I feel like it is my dream palette. I'm just gonna go through all the shades real quick. So it has this like pale white translucent shade right here, and it is perfect to pat on the lid before you get started. That is what it looks like swatched, and that is called Bluffin'. Then you go to Wink Wink, which is this really pretty like champagne highlight shade. And it's very, very light. I feel like this is one that you would definitely have to build up just from swatching it. Then we have Bare to Wear, which is gonna be, I think, a good like transition crease shade. It's kind of pinky when you swatch it, but it's really, really pretty in the palette. Then we're going to All Natural, which again is a good nude brown transition shade, and it looks like this. And then we have Put On Airs, which I already know is gonna be my favorite shade in this entire palette. It is the most stunning gold shimmer shade. It is beautiful. It just looks like very wet and foiled, but whenever I swatch it, it doesn't come up like a glitter. It comes up like a shimmer eyeshadow. Then we have Mugged Off, which has a slight gold reflex in it. It is more of like an orange copper brown. That's what it looks like. And we have Lap of Luxe, which I really, really like. This kind of reminds me of a shade, I don't remember what eyeshadow palette it was, but oh, I think it was the Tarte and Aspen Ovard palette. Kind of reminds me of a shade that they had in there. It's a really, really pretty brown shimmer shade. It's more of a shimmer than a glitter like Put On Airs, but it's still really, really beautiful. I feel like it would be really pretty underneath Put On Airs. Then we have the Coco, which is another shade that has like a gold reflex in it. This one is more of a red tone, and it looks like this. Really, really pretty. And then we have Moody, which is just like a really pretty chocolate matte brown. Perfect to deepen up the crease, the outer lid, under the lash line, and it is just a really, really good shade. So those are all of the colors in the palette. Like I said, this is like a dream nude palette for me. I love these kinds of shades. It's not too warm, it's not cool. You can kind of mix and match them. I feel like you can get a lot of different looks in this palette. But today I'm going to be doing, I think, just like what I would normally do on a day-to-day basis, nothing too crazy. I want to try and use as many colors in the palette as I can, so let's get started. Okay, I think I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a tad so you can really see what these look like. I also have on my lips right now the Colourpop So Juicy Plumping Gloss, just in the shade, I'm not really sure what the shade is, but it is just the clear one, and I'm obsessed with like just this on my lips right now. First things first, I'm gonna go in with Bluffin', which is just that white shade. I patted this little Real Techniques brush in it, and off the bat there is, let's see if it'll focus, there is quite a bit of fallout or kickback in the pan, but it's just like a little white transition or translucent shade, so I'm not too worried about it. If I do get fallout, it'll be really easy to dust off, and fallout doesn't really bother me. I've talked about that before. As long as it doesn't like ruin my makeup, I'm good with it. And normally I do my eyeshadow first if I'm like going all out full glam. So if I was using a bunch of darker shades, I would probably do it first anyway, so it wouldn't ruin the rest of my makeup. I'm going to go in with Bare to Wear. Like I said, it looks a lot more brown in the pan than whenever I swatched it, so we're just going to work this in the crease. Okay, so there it is in the crease. I feel like it looks kind of washed out in the viewfinder, but in person it is a nice, like really neutral shade. I feel like this would be really good to just throw in the crease and kind of on your lid and put like a really pretty highlight on the inner corner and run out the door on a day where you're in a rush. But I definitely think it'll be a good gradient shade as well to build up other colors with. Next, I'm going to take this little round Luxie brush. It's a tapered blending brush, and I think I'm going to go into All Natural, which is a little bit darker brown. There is a ton of kickback with these shadows. I don't remember other Colourpop palettes having this much kickback, but when you tap it off, there's not much that comes up under your eyes. There's not a ton of fallout, so I'm just going to kind of buff this into the outer corner and then into the crease. I'm just kind of flecking out to the temple to kind of create like a winged eyeshadow. Okay, you can kind of see underneath there was a little bit of fallout, but easy to wipe away, and it still looks good. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a, it's like a much wider blending brush, and it's not quite as dense, so it fits perfectly like in the crease. And I'm gonna go in with Moody, which is the darkest shade in the palette, and I barely tapped into the brush and you can see how dark it is. So we're going to pack this on the outer corner and then go like halfway into the crease with it. Okay, and then I'm going to take a really fat blending brush and I'm going to go into Bare to Wear and All Natural and just blend out the top so there's no harsh lines. Kind of do this in circular motions. Before we get into the shimmer shades, I'm going to take a flat definer brush and go into this really dark brown. And I am going to do like a liner with eyeshadow across my lid lash line. as you can see, we've got a very sharp cut line. Now I'm going to go in with my little flat shader brush that I love using for shimmer shades. I'm going to spray it with some setting spray. Going to go in with Put On Airs. We're just going to go in and pack it on the lid. I'm gonna try and use my finger and see if that helps. It didn't necessarily help with the fallout, but I definitely think it made it look more pigmented using my finger, which I feel like is the case a lot of times with shimmer shades. Your finger. It is so stunning. And then I'm gonna go and wipe off all this fallout. And then I do want to take a little bit of that Lap of Luxe. This one right here. It is also a shimmer shade, but it's, whoa, a little bit less glittery. And I'm gonna pack this kind of in between where Moody and the gold shimmer meet. And then for the inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to go in with Wink Wink, which is this really pretty, whoa. Okay, so whenever I swatched it earlier and I said that it had like a lighter consistency, putting my brush into it, it kind of moves around like their Super Shock shadows do. So if you're familiar with those, that's why it was coming off lighter on my finger. So, whoa. Wow. Okay, that is really, really pretty. I desperately need to get my eyebrows waxed, so I apologize for highlighting all of these hairs underneath, but gotta do what you gotta do. For the lower lash line, we're pretty much going to use all of the same shadows, except I really want to try this one. I know it's got kind of a gold reflex on it, but I want to see what it looks like. With the same definer brush, I'm going to go into Moody and just pack this on the outer corner. dense flat definer brush and kind of buff out under the lash line so it doesn't look so harsh. Okay, so this is much more glam than I intended on going today, but it's okay. I really wanted to try out like as many shadows in the palette as I could. So now you could either really glam it up with some liquid liner and lashes, or you could just tightline with a pencil liner and do some mascara, which is probably what I'm gonna do because like I said, this is a lot more glam than I intended on going today. So I'm going to tightline with the Maybelline Lasting Drama waterproof pencil in the shade Glazed Toffee, and then I'm just gonna pop on some mascara, do the rest of my face makeup, and I'll be back to give you my thoughts. Alright, so I'm back, full face completed. Final thoughts, I really like this palette. I like the size of it. I like that you can travel with it. It's got really good everyday shades. I also feel like this would be a really good palette, like bridal wise, for brides or bridesmaids. It's got some really pretty neutrals and shimmers in it. The only negative thing I have to say about the palette is that it does not have a mirror. I feel like having a mirror in an eyeshadow palette is essential. Just my personal opinion. I feel like it makes it much easier to travel with, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. It is, I think, what keeps these palettes so affordable is that there's no mirror, so you're paying less than $20, less than $15 for a really good eyeshadow palette. You can bring a travel mirror along with you. Other than that, like I said before, there is quite a bit of kickback and fallout whenever you use these shadows, so if that is a deal breaker for you, then obviously this may not be the palette for you. But if you don't mind a little bit of kickback, a little bit of fallout, it was really easy to dust off, then I definitely recommend picking up this palette. I'll have it linked down below along with all of the other products that I used if you're curious about anything else that I used today, although I didn't do a full like makeup tutorial. I'll have it all linked down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more palette reviews and tutorials. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.